Hi, everyone. Today is day 5 of our Legacy Launch Academy. You guys are doing so amazing. I hope that you have learned so much up until this point. Natalie is actually on a weekend getaway with her husband. So we're excited for her to do that. I love that our job provides the flexibility. Like, this is what we're all after, that time freedom. So she was like, can you jump in? Her husband whisked her away for the weekend for their anniversary. And I was like, of course, like that's what, we do here. That's what we're all after. Like, if she can't just be able to take one meeting off, from her job, then what are we even doing this for? So of course, I'm excited to jump in. So let that be inspiration to you. If you're new to this, um, this is what we're all after, is that time freedom and that financial freedom. And the fact that at Plexus here, we're one Plexus and we do things as a team. Like, this is the kind of flexibility and freedom that you get. You can be whisked away for the weekend with your spouse to celebrate your anniversary, and people jump in and we can still do what we need to do. So today, like I said, is day 5. You guys have been doing so amazing. We are going to work through the worksheet. But before we do that, I wanted to give you just a little tidbit of something that's always been impactful for me, because at this point, you've probably started to notice a pattern with what we're doing. Okay. So every day, we're trying to start conversations about Plexus, right? That is really what it comes down to. If you simplify everything, it's all about educating your audience and starting those organic, genuine conversations where you have something that you know is of value that you can offer people, and your job is to just offer that, right? And then start those conversations and ask a lot of questions and help people start this journey. So simply put, we're just trying to start conversations about Plexus, and the way we do that is that we open our mouth and share a story, right? And so you can do that in a variety of ways. We like to utilize social media. There's a way that we can utilize this in a system where we're constantly, because on social media, we have infinite number almost of people and relationships that we can build, right? So we want you to be doing this in person and exercising that, that skill set of in-person conversations, because that is one way that we grow this business. But we also want to give you the systems and the tools to build online and to increase your impact and increase your platform. So every day, what we want you to be doing is to be putting up a post, but we're not just Plexus people, right? Natalie touched on this yesterday. We're not just, we don't want to be a walking billboard. No, first of all, when that happens, a lot of times you're just not going to be as effective. People don't want to be sold to, right? They want you to be genuine and authentic and sharing your story. So what we want you to do, and what we've been trained here, and what we duplicate down at, as a company and as a team, is that we want you to be sharing things that are about your personal life, not necessarily too personal to you, but just Plexus post. And we want the ratio. What you're going after is typically for every 2 personal posts, you want to put a Plexus post up. So because yes, we don't want you to be a walking billboard, but at the same time, if you're not posting about Plexus, here's the flip side of that. If you're not posting about Plexus and you're only posting things that are non-Plexus, they're going to wonder if you're still doing it. They don't know. This is also your storefront. So you want to make sure that you are consistently showing up and saying, this is something that I'm still doing. This is something I'm still passionate about. This is something that I still, take personally, and, take the product personally, and experience these products personally, and I'm helping others. So you want to show up in a consistent manner. You just don't want to show up as only a billboard, right? So there's that balance. And so if you can think in your head that for every 2 non-Plexus posts, I'm going to want to put up a Plexus post as well. So whatever that ratio looks like for you in your consistency in showing up online, we recommend it daily, but it all depends on how fast you're trying to move, right? So fast is easy and slow is normally harder. So we do encourage you to step into these systems and embrace them. And, that's going to be the way that you continue to move the needle forward. So every day we're looking at, putting up some personal posts, whether that be in your stories or on your page. And I promise you, the more that you do it, the more confident you'll get in it, and the more the easier it will become. It's like, you're exercising that muscle, that creativity muscle. And I'll tell you what, you're also going to get better at it. You're going to become more creative. You're going to learn new skills, and we offer that here. We have times that we've done social media classes. We have classes or trainings that are in like our team page that we can connect you to. So as you're doing the things and posting more and more, you're going to learn new skills, get better at it, and start to branch out and what your posts look like. So just right now, the focus is to just be consistent, show up online, get active, show people that you're someone they can trust. You're someone that is committed to what you're doing. So this week has been like a little intro where you've been dipping your feet into this. But if you were to commit to building a business, we would want you to be showing up online, with that ratio of, for every 2 personal posts, put up at least 1 Plexus post. And you want to be on your stories and on your pages, right? Okay. The other thing is this. You need to be in your messages. So that's something that we've been building that muscle this week, right? So we started out where we were just sending, we created our list. First of all, that should be a working list, right? Your Frank's list. So your friends, your relatives, your acquaintances, your neighbors, your kids' connections, your spouse connections, that list, thinking with, in the mind frame of like, who all around me can benefit from these products or from this opportunity. That's something that you train your brain to look for. And so that list is a working list. And I'm telling you, if you just followed these worksheets every single week, you would see movement in your business and you could build a stable business. Now, it might grow and expand from that. And what these activities are actually called in our industry is, we call it IPA for short, but that's income producing activities. Okay, so that's your post, that's your messages. We've built that muscle where first we just made the list, and then we had you the next day start reaching out to 3 people from that list. And we did that for a day or 2, or maybe we did that first day, right? You want to be messaging people consistently, just like you want to be posting consistently and having those conversations consistently, being willing to share your story in person, on the phone, when you're at different gatherings and online. You want to be messaging people, because here's the deal. I've been doing this almost 5 years now. And as much as you're posting and as much as people are seeing it, which by the way, they're not always seeing it, right? We know that it takes several exposures, and that the algorithm makes it to where we really need to be consistent, because some people aren't going to see your stuff. But even when people are seeing it, many times they're not going to reach out to you. Almost never. I'm going to tell you that. It's almost never. I have a handful of times in my 5 years of doing this that somebody's reached out to me and said, I want what you're talking about. I need that Plexus. Now, yeah, I have brought on hundreds of customers and in this 5 years, and it's because I was willing to reach out to them. And when they came back, and I'm telling you, they'll say, oh my gosh, yes, I have been seeing your post, and I have been actually really needing something to help me with my weight. I've been meaning to reach out to you, but I'm just so busy. I hadn't even thought of it. So I can't tell you how many times that has happened. So you have to be willing to get into your messages. It can get real easy to be like, they would message me if they wanted it, and to get in your head about, oh my gosh, nobody's seeing my post. They don't want what I have. I promise you, people need what you have. They need what you have. So all you need to be, 100% firm on that you have something of value, and that you're not like, your heart, you're not trying to bother people, and you're not bothering people. I like to liken this. I think we talked about this once earlier this week. I like to liken this to like, if you were at a coffee shop and the waitress were to come to your table and say, would you like some coffee today? You may not want coffee today, right? And you could literally say, no, thank you. I don't want coffee. And there's nobody offended in that interaction. And also, it doesn't mean you'll never want coffee in the future. You just don't want coffee today. And the crazy thing is, online, it's a little bit different. People feel bolder to do things they wouldn't do in person. So if they ignore you, that is so common. You just realize that's part of the game. Some of this is somewhat of a numbers game. Now, we want to keep it relational as much as possible and keep our mindset of like, we're here to help people, and keep that be your frame of mind whenever you jump into your messages. But at the same time, understand that this is sales. This is sales. People can say all day long that it's just sharing your story, which is true. We want you to think in that mindset. But at the end of the day, it is sales. And sales is a numbers game. You have to talk. If you want to grow bigger, you got to talk to more people, right? You got to talk to more people. So realize that it's okay. Like with Messenger, especially, some people just, and I know I'm this way too. If I get bombarded with messages all day long, I'm not necessarily going to be able to break from what I'm doing and get into that message and be able to have a dialogue. And it doesn't mean I don't want to. It means that I can't prioritize it right now. So if you can realize that that's likely happening with many of the people that you're messaging, and just understand that ghosting usually means I'm not ready to think about this yet. And it's okay to go back and follow up with that person again. I can't tell you how many times it's been like me messaging and then, maybe a week later messaging again, and then maybe a month later messaging again, and then maybe 2 months later messaging again, and then maybe 6 months later messaging again, and then maybe a year later messaging again, and that person has come on to join my team or as a customer. At some point they are ready. So I feel like if there's not a hard stop, if they haven't come back and said, no, thank you, please don't contact me, then the door is still open. We have stuff that people need. We have products that people need. People are always going to be trying to get better, health. They're going to be, and by the way, you can have great health today, and 6 months from now, have your health may take a turn. So it's not like that, the door is closed ever, right? We have something that people need on a consistent basis, and we really truly can help people. So if you can keep that at the forefront of your mind and realize that it is somewhat of a numbers game, and just be willing to commit to the process of showing up and sharing your story on a public platform, and being willing to talk to people face to face, and in every, where you're at, like this morning at my Orange Theory, my workout that I did. Be listening for opportunities. The coach is pregnant, and she is 20 weeks, and so she's going to work up until she takes her maternity leave. But she says that particular job, I overheard her saying, like, this isn't flexible for a mom. Like, it's not a job I could bring my child into. It's not a job that I could nurse here or answer phones, or it doesn't work with what I'm doing. So I'm like, she told her boss, like, I might come back, but I don't want you to wait on me, fill my spot. But if it works out for me to come back at some point and you have availability, then I might come back. But she didn't want to commit to that. And I overheard that. And there was a part of me that was like, oh, and then I heard her say, but I need a way to make income. And I heard her say that, and she was talking to someone else. It took courage, right? To say, okay, first of all, I had to hear it. I was listening, but then it takes courage to actually be able to open your mouth and say something. And at the risk of feeling like, oh, she thinks I'm going to just try to sell her something, but that's not my heart. I know my heart, right? My heart is that I could help that mama. I have something that she could do from home, and it might be a great fit for her because she is in the wellness industry, right? So I'm listening and I'm thinking, I'm always looking out for people, and you're going to train your brain to think in that way the more that you do this. But I did at the end, I asked her, I said, do you know what you're going to do after, you have the baby? And she said, yeah, this job's not flexible. She kind of went over a little bit of what she was saying. And I said, well, I'm partnered with the wellness company. I would love to show you and she was like, oh my gosh, yeah, that could be awesome. So having that in-person conversation, that's a message right there, right? That counts as a interaction and a conversation. And you can put it on your list of like, I had that message. I had that conversation today. That was a reach out, right? So it is a blend of in-person conversations, but also being willing to show up online, because why not? The platform is there. We can impact more people than ever in this day and age. And if you're not utilizing social media, then you're missing out. You are literally leaving money on the table, leaving impact on the table. You're letting it be that, you're not utilizing a free resource that's here for all of us to maximize our impact. Okay. So IPA, right? Let's wrap it all up. IPA is your daily posting and daily, daily posting. Okay. Showing up online, having, being here, showing people that you're committed to the process. That's your personal post, your non-plex, let's call it non-plexus, because some people get kind of weird about like, well, I don't want to post my whole personal life. No, it means your non-plexus post. So people can build trust and they get to know you because they're buying from you. They could buy wellness products from the store. They could buy wellness products from other plexus people. Most people know somebody, selling plexus or selling another competitor's products. They're buying from you, so you have to bring your personality and your heart to the forefront so that they have a reason to buy from you. And by the way, there are people that want to buy from you over all of those people, but if you're not talking about it, they're not going to know. So you need to show up online. You need to show up both non-plexus post and with a plexus with that 2-to-1 ratio. By the way, if you can only do 1-to-1 ratio, that's kind of where I'm at in my journey right now. Like I just am, it's lucky, like it's not lucky, but it's a struggle for me to even show up online sometimes with just how busy I am. So 1-to-1's fine too. Whatever you can do, just you need to, be working towards that 2-to-1. But if it's 1-to-1, that's fine. If you're alternating between personal and plexus, personal and plexus, personal and plexus, whatever you can do and commit to. Okay. Just don't become a walking billboard. All right. And then the other part of IPA is having those messages, and that involves new reach outs, whether it's in person or online, and follow-ups. And I would stick to the, 5 minimum new reach outs and 3 minimum follow-ups. Okay, all that to say, let's share the worksheet so y'all can get started. It's not super crazy. A lot of it you're kind of used to. So let me figure out how to do this. Share screen, start broadcast. Okay, what do y'all? Start sharing. Do y'all see it yet? You are sharing screen. Okay, hold on. Do you see my screen? Yeah,
we can see it.
Okay, so now I just need to find it. It's in the files. Here we go. Okay, let's see, full screen. Sorry, I'm learning this now. Well, not really learning, but no, I don't know. If you can see, can you see this? Or is it kind of weird?
Yes.
Okay, we'll just scroll down.
We can see it.
Perfect. So Zoom meeting, obviously right now you guys are on it. For those of you watching later, you can check this off after you watch the recording. Okay, today, so what we've been doing, we've showed you different types of posts, right? We've talked about your personal testimony. That was kind of your first excitement post that we did originally. And then we've done a gut health education post. So you can educate your audience. And now we are looking at a testimonial post. You're borrowing someone else's story, because Natalie touched on this before. We don't, our story is not going to be everybody's story. And our products help with so much that we want to make sure that we're telling people about all of the things that we can help with. So this is a great way to connect with people that maybe don't have the same story as you. You're going to want to join this group called Gut Health and Happiness and Beyond. I think Natalie talked about it yesterday, but that is our testimonial group. It is one of our Diamond Uplines groups. So it's a huge group. People are adding to it all the time. You've got tons of options in there. All you have to do is put in the search of that group, you put in keywords that you want to focus on, right? So if you want to talk about, it could be a product, or it could be an issue that, I want to talk about migraines today, or I want to talk about bloating today. You put in that particular symptom or that particular product, and a bunch of testimonies are going to pop up on the page. And what you're going to want to do is find one that you like, save the picture and copy the text, and then go back to your page, paste the text into the body of a post, and upload the picture. But before you publish it, make sure that you add a little blurb. So you add your own little verbiage that says something about why you're sharing this. Okay. So for example, oh my goodness, today I ran across this testimony and just had to share. This is why I'm so excited about these products. Check out Tessa's story and how she was able to overcome debilitating anxiety by targeting her gut health, with the emoji pointing down. Then you post the testimony. And then at the end, you might say something like, if you can relate to Tessa's story, I'd love to share more about the system that is helping her and me. Let's chat. Okay, so this is a great way. Most people like to alternate and put a testimony up on their page. Some people like to do Testimony Tuesday. I wouldn't put that on your page, like Testimony Tuesday. You can, it's not a big deal if you do, but you can just in your mind, think every Tuesday I'm going to share a testimony, because sometimes it can, if you start getting consistent with this, it can be a place where you're like, well, I don't know what to post today. You're going to probably hit that if you don't be intentional about how you're posting. And by the way, you can start from the get-go with a very intentional strategy. And that's what I would recommend. So if you can say, okay, every Monday, I'm going to do a motivational post about the business. Every Tuesday, I'm going to put up a testimony. Every Wednesday, some people like to do Wellness Wednesday, I'm going to do a post about a certain product. Okay. Every Thursday, some people do Thankful Thursday and they thankful for something about their business, and every Friday, Fun Friday, or whatever. So you can come up with your own systems. But testimony is a great one to cycle through. You wouldn't want to just always share testimonies. And I'm telling you, you're not going to always get a lot of traction on them as far as likes and comments, but people are seeing them. I've had many a time where people come into my message with it, or maybe they just like it. And so then I go and they don't say anything. Then you go to a message and say, hey, I saw that you liked my post about XYZ. Is that a testimony that you can relate to? And then that starts that conversation. But even if you aren't getting a ton of likes on your testimony pages, people are seeing them, and the more consistent you are with them, cycling them through with different types of posts, the better. Okay. And then we want you reaching out to 5 new people from your list. You should be, I think that's actually 21 people if you count up how many we've asked you to reach out to each day. So like I said, this is a working list. You're going to be adding people as you go. If you've put up posts, you probably have, if you got any likes at all, those are people you add to your list. Okay. So we want you reaching out to at least 5 new people. And at this point, you could probably do 3 follow-ups, especially if people are starting to answer you back and you can count your 3 follow-ups. Then of course, be active on social media with at least 1 personal post and at least a personal story as well. Okay, that is pretty much today. I'm sorry, that was kind of fast and furious, but okay, stop share. Does anybody have any comments or questions about? Okay, sorry, something weird happened. Are y'all seeing me? Everything okay? On my side, it said something weird. Okay. Does anybody have any comments or questions for today? Okay, awesome. Then I'm going to stop the screen or this recording. Did I stop it? Stop recording. Bye, y'all. Y'all are gonna do awesome today.